Hey, how are you, Marie? Hi. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Do you mind doing a quick spin for me?
Right, I'm
When
recording.
did
Show me again.
Tinder add this?
Okay, so yeah, they added reviews now. So if you click on their profile, you can see like this guy's got a
Shit.
lot of reviews.
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
It's always the fat bitches. It's always the fat bitches.
We also gotta talk about y'all big boys then, because y'all be sending pee-pee pics and pushing y'all moopa all the way down, and then when I go see y'all in person, all of a sudden them inches disappear.
These are the top 5 cringiest Tinder profiles for girls. At number 5, we have girls looking for a plug. You chose drugs over hugs. Your parents would be very disappointed. At number 4, we have the emoji queens, because words simply aren't enough to describe you. At 3, we have those who count piercings and tattoos as personality traits. At 2, we have the astrology hoes, because you totally have the co-star app and it's totally right about you all the time. And at 1, we have my friends made me do it. LOL.
Tinder roulette.
Nope. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Yeah.
Oh, good gracious ass motivation.
I love talking about myself. I want someone who is nice and generous and fun, not annoying. Biggest red flag, easy. One picture, no bio. The hottest thing you can do, date, location, time, dress code, a copy of the menu in advance. Favorite playlist, first date wish list, dream job, queen of the world, scratch that, queen of the universe, queen of your universe. I'm so funny. L-O.
Oh my God, it's such a coincidence seeing you here. Oh my.
Bro, I have used dating apps. I would just much rather recommend the in-person alternative. You just get a story out of that, right? When you meet someone online or on a dating app, it's like, it's weird from the start. And this is coming from someone who met my ex off Tinder. It's really hard to win on Tinder or on a dating app because there's so many people against you. You have so many people fighting for that one girl, or if you're a girl fighting for that one guy. It's just much different when you're in person because there's like a different energy around it and the story is going to continue better. I met this girl a couple months ago at a bar and we talked for a few months, and I don't think it would have gone that way had we met online. It's because we met in person at a bar in a chaotic, hectic scenario. I don't want to go into too much detail about what happened, but that kind of laid a foundation for like the thing we had. It wouldn't have happened online, I'll tell you that.
This feminist writer for the New York Magazine, a high-end liberal feminist rag that limousine liberals read, was assigned to write about Tinder. And she wrote a whole fucking book about her life as if she's Michelle Obama. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing, just the main parts that reveal red pill truths. The article was written in 2023, a decade after Tinder launched. The article title is Tinder Hearted. How did a dating app become my longest running relationship? The jokes keep on writing themselves. But before we go any deeper into the video, let me share the comment of the day. I want to share this comment that Sugiri Zumi shared. He said, "A girl I lived with in college stole my clothes, my car, and went to live with a Chad she found. I had gotten fat and was directionless. 3 months after she left, I dropped 20 pounds, joined a gym, and without her income, I lived in my van. 9 months later, I'd been trading stocks for fun and made 6 figures. I soon was living in a fancy apartment and everything fell into place. Around 11 months later, I saw her. She put on 40 pounds, was on her 3rd guy, and was on drugs. Lesson: it was her fault my life was bad. She drained me so much I couldn't come up with a life plan. Women are not a life partner. They're an accessory to a man's success. Now that's an amazing bouncing back story, guys. You almost gotta thank the girl for being a slut. I always appreciate those personal stories you guys share, but that's not what always gets comment of the day. So please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5. As always, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that moved me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. So make sure to hit that like and sub button too, as it helps us out a lot. Now, back to the video.
Embrace your masculinity.
I first downloaded Tinder in the spring of 2013, 7 months after it launched. I'd heard about it as a concept, Grindr for straights, but felt exempt from needing it until one evening at the tail end of a drawn-out breakup with someone I'd told myself I would marry. So, she wants us to believe this app that she downloaded out of curiosity just sat on her phone, untouched, collecting dust because she was faithful to her boyfriend. That's hard to believe. We were at a restaurant in San Francisco, having one of too many brutal goodbye dinners that led to "this is the last time I swear" sex. That's why he's leaving, because he can get sex without dating her, or the threat of losing him is actually making her put out more. Either way, sounds like dude dodged a bullet, as this writer hasn't been in a long-term relationship since then. And I put the app on my phone in front of him. He stoically chugged his Negroni while I marveled at the hundreds, presumably thousands of men who were waiting for me on the other end, should he decide to go through with the breakup. "Look," I said, waving my iPhone 5 in his face. Women need to stop bragging to men they're interested in that men want to fuck them, because that doesn't win us men over. It makes us gag as we assume they sleep around. And apparently the boyfriend thought the same thing. By June, my boyfriend had gone through with the breakup and moved on, quickly and not via app, to a woman he'd met through mutual friends. I wanted to die, but instead of the sweet relief of death, Tinder. The boyfriend keeps on winning. He met someone the best way possible, in person and through a friend circle. His organic relationship will probably last a long time and be more meaningful than any relationship you can get off of an app. And because of the breakup, she's gonna hoe it up, or go through her hoe phase, assuming she didn't do that when she downloaded the app initially. I had my first actual Tinder date, Jameson. Either his bio had a joke about taking a shot of Jameson, or my opening message did. I'd chosen a pale blue mini dress that showed some tit, but not too much tit, because I was meeting him straight after work. And he'd chosen happy hour at an Irish pub in Alphabet City that was divey but not too divey. I'd chosen him because he had hair like Felicity-era Scott Speedman, and while nothing he said was that impressive, it also wasn't boring or offensive, which I'd already recognized as hallmarks of most Tinder conversations. Sounds like Jameson has some game and wasn't going bald. Jameson worked for a carpet importing business and paid for everything. Nice, from a thick roll of cash. Okay. And he's a high-value male as well. I had too many whiskey gingers on an empty stomach and was drunk 90 minutes in. To his credit, he waited until around 120 minutes before suggesting we move to his place for another drink, which was coincidentally less than a block away. Even though everything about Tinder was new, I still understood he meant it was time for sex. I thought to myself, this is ahead of schedule. We'd been hanging out for only 2 hours and it was still light out, and I needed to eat, I told him. He waited patiently while I ate 2 slices of pizza at a tourist trap. She used the possibility of sex to get pizza. She needs to stop eating and go to the gym. Why not get a Tinder date to pay for a yearly gym membership? Then he tried again, abruptly kissing me with grease all over my chin and pepperoni on my breath. As his tongue worked its way around my mouth with such agility, I considered asking him to unearth some pepperoni stuck between my molars. Now, that's gross. I felt my body flood with the possibility of a great romance. Instead, I went home alone and felt sad he wasn't my ex. Sounds like she used the dude for free drinks and a pizza. Not that he's entitled to that. This also goes to show, never deal with a lady that's been alpha widowed because she'll always be hung up about her ex. It wasn't a good date or a bad date, but I liked how easy and fun it had been, and I felt certain that it would continue to be easy and fun to do again and again with other people until I settled down with someone and deleted the app. I wonder how fun it would be if she paid for half the dates she went on. This is why I stress, go Dutch on the first couple of dates. These women are dating only for the free benefits. Tinder turns 10 in September, and I'm still again and again with other people. These are factors that make my time on the apps different from yours. I'm 36, black, a woman, a resident of one of Tinder's densest dating markets, New York, and I mostly date men. Despite being in the most populated city in America, she's still matching with the same people, and probably it's for flings. At this point, I often feel old. Yeah, because she is old. She should have had a 10-year-old kid by now, but she chose to be a Tinderella. And frankly, a little embarrassed to still be using Tinder. I'm not in the most common age group of users. More than 50% are 18 to 25. I represent something like 20% of people who are swiping, and even Tinder seems to sense some desperation. Black women in America are the least liked demographic on dating apps and are the last in every dating category, so they should be the ones jumping on relationships any chance they get. And at her age it is. Most men aren't swiping on profiles over 30, unless if the men are in their 60s or if the men are desperate or MILF hunters. You may be a different user, perhaps closer to the standard, 75% are male according to outside sources, though Tinder was unwilling to confirm. It is mostly men, because average-looking women can get laid anywhere, so they don't need dating apps to hook up. All they have to do is say yes to the one of many men who approach them. There has been bad sex, meh sex, do it for the story sex, occasionally good sex, and sometimes sex that's made me need to take a break from sex. And that's why she's single. Her body count after a decade of Tinder must be in the triple digits. We might even have matched, met, and fucked the same person, an overlap I discovered with 2 different people I spoke to while writing this. There it is. She confirmed a red pill truth that most women on Tinder only hook up with the top 10% of males, if that. Remarkably, one guy was an art handler from Chicago who was only in town for a weekend, and yet, somehow, these well-off seasoned males are in high demand. That's why I tell men to get successful at something, because that process of becoming successful will force you to develop charm, charisma, give you life experience, stories, and the success itself will give you internal confidence. And if you have that in your back pocket and a chick leaves, fine, you'll find someone who will want to be with you. I've rejected people for bad grammar, racial slurs, boring first questions, aggressive and immediate sexual overtures, overly earnest chat, GIF usage, delay of IRL meeting, or an inexplicable ick, often involving their choice in footwear. And she wonders why she's still single. I've forgotten I dated and slept with someone and rematched with renewed interest. I've been lightly catfished and probably almost scammed. I've received dick pics without warning, solicited dick pics, sent nudes. This is a low-class female, no matter how educated she is. No one wants to date or marry someone who has sent nudes out there. And asking dick pics is massive slut tale. She probably unmatched guys who did send her dick pics, but it wasn't big enough because she wants Ray Ray and Pookie Dollar foot-long jungle dick. I've ghosted and been ghosted and taken all the rejection like a champ, but then been so randomly, disproportionately felled by one single rejection, I'm surprised at the intensity of my rage and despair. I've been lucky that I've never had anything truly bad happen to me. No man wants a used-up Tinderella. She's making a clear case why she'll be a cat lady for the rest of her life. I've deleted the app and re-downloaded the app, deleted and done it again. I've had so many long-term text-only encounters that, for a moment, I wondered if I was digisexual. I've strayed and used Hinge. Why don't I get any matches? And Bumble. Just because I can message first doesn't mean you'll message back. She's slowly figuring it out. It's not the app or apps, it's her. As a teenager, I had some early and potent sexual awakenings in Napster chat rooms. Those X-rated online conversations with strangers taught me how to be both intimate and distant at once. This is why teens shouldn't be on the internet or own smartphones. In my 20s, I dated people I met on OkCupid and Match.com, even though I'd lie about how we met. So I was not prone to moral panic over dating apps. It seemed obvious that technology could provide a dating assist. Plus, I'd seen Sex and the City. When she says dated, she means had sex with. Don't be fooled and think because a woman said she dated that nothing happened. And of course, she's a fan of Sex and the City, the biggest disservice to women. The show implies post-wall women who sleep around can still get into meaningful relationships with high-value males when they can't in real life. That's why it's fiction. We're not even at the halfway mark of the article, because much of it is written to justify her being on Tinder for a decade. Like, I was like a laboratory, both scientist and experiment, learning what parts of my personality worked on another person. Each date proved me to be both incredibly brave and the biggest wimp. She was a lab, as in she collected DNA samples in her snatch. Skipping around the article, by 2015, studies were regularly popping up about Tinder's effects on brains and hearts and societal well-being, how it was lowering our self-esteem and making us lonelier. No, it made it easier for sluts to sleep around. The lowering self-esteem is because the sluts know what they're doing is bad for them, and they're lonely because they have disqualified themselves from commitment. Skipping more to finally the halfway mark of the article. I didn't want intimacy light, so I decided I might as well cut intimacy out of my diet altogether. This is to save face. No one was willing to give her a full commitment, so she nips that in the butt and claims it's her who doesn't want commitment. That's like always wanting a Ferrari but not having enough money to even rent it, then claim you never wanted one because a Honda Civic was better. What Tinder is good at, what it seems designed to do, is make me much better at being single. Now she's blaming Tinder for being single. Tinder helped her and many modern women to sleep around easier. Skipping more. April 2020. I was staying in my mother's house when I got a message from PJ, 39, back in Brooklyn. There was a red flag. He didn't have a bio. That's not suspicious. He had just emerged from a 10-year relationship and was brand new to the apps, but he was chatty and quick-witted, and we talked every day for months before we met. I wanted someone in a way that felt organic and not calculated and Tindery, because I'd taken the slow loop. It felt like I really got to know him, so by the time we did have sex, one afternoon, when he showed up at my door holding the thoughtful gift of a murder-proof plan, it was next-level spiritual soulmate shit. Sounds like this dude is a hardcore player. The gift was just the icing on the cake, made her feel special and validated by this Tyrone type. Given the outcome of most pandemic pastimes, it should not surprise anyone when I say PJ was less next-level spiritual soulmate and more shit. In fact, he was married with 2 children and using Tinder to cheat. No shit. And that November, when it all came to my head, in my devastation, I reverted to using Tinder the way I knew how. Seamlessing a man, a librarian with a big dick. Dude could be jobless and she'll still talk glowing about it, as if we don't know the real reason why he's her quote-unquote spirit animal and soulmate. The jumbo $1 long in his pants, who rollerbladed to my house just when I needed the emotional distraction and left exactly when I needed him to. She just wanted good sex and is so desperate to get it. She knowingly cheated with a married man. So much for the sisterhood. Skipping to the end, she writes, Tinder was robbing me of pheromone. It was messing with my ability to feel my horniness and follow it wherever. Yes, steady, tidy, prearranged encounters were helpful. But this was attraction, so feral and potentially life-ruining, I didn't know what to do with it anymore, so I did nothing at all. She got used up so much that her body gave up on her. No telling how many abortions she had or how many years she was on birth control. After a decade of screwing with no baby, her body said, fuck it, I'm out. No point in trying to attract a guy anymore. She might have gone through menopause early. Menopause is when middle-aged women become sterile. As well as her pair bonding is so non-existent that she probably needs a shack-sized jackhammer just to feel anything. That's it. The moral of the story is, this proves why you should never marry or date anyone from Tinder. This chick is average at best, so imagine someone off of Tinder who's attractive or looks like a good girl. How many men she could go through. This is why dating apps are hoe apps. The end. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.